Good evening. I'm Otto Othman. Thanks for joining me this Saturday on 7Edition. The headlines. Back for Good program sends 140,000 illegal immigrants sent home as deadline looms. Finance Minister says remaining 40% of PH promises to be implemented next year. And AFPM calls for denial of entry for unimmunized foreigners. The driver of a blue Myvi that went viral ramming through vehicles during rush hours in Kuala Lumpur yesterday was tested positive for methamphetamine and amphetamine. Police say the suspect is also a public servant and is being held for allegedly robbing a man with disabilities. In the 4:50 p.m. incident on Jalan Changkat, a blue Myvi was seen going berserk and ramming several cars as it tried to flee from some motorcyclists. It is believed that the suspect had robbed a disabled man before making his escape from witnesses. The public then pursued him down Jalan Pudu before finally apprehending him on Jalan Brunei Utara at 5:20 p.m. Several cars were damaged in the pursuit, but none of the other drivers suffered injuries. The suspect was taken to the Dangwangi District Police Headquarters to be investigated. Bridge along the Pan-Borneo Highway project collapsed in Miri, Sarawak, injuring 2 workers. Now, the incident occurred at 2:20 p.m. at the Pujut Link component of the highway when 5 girder beams of the bridge gave way. Now, in a statement, the Public Works Department said they have issued a stop work order for the construction site. Now, according to the Borneo Post, the beam launch was undertaken by a specialist bridge contractor. 7 girder beams for span 2 of the Sungai Miri Bridge had been completed before the collapse. The Public Works Department has also begun investigations into the incident. Nearly 140,000 illegal immigrants have returned to their countries of origin voluntarily through the Back for Good B4G program as of December 12th, since it was launched in early August. According to the Immigration Department, Indonesians were the majority of the number with over 53,000, followed by Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, and other countries. The sharp increase in those enlisting with the program was due to the attitude of people waiting till the last minute to apply and hoping that the program would be extended.
Jabatan jangkakan jumlah ini semakin hari akan semakin bertambah sehinggalah ke penghujung bulan ini. Dan tidak dapat dielakkan mereka datang dengan kumpulan yang begitu ramai sekali dan immigration sebenarnya telah pun melanjutkan waktu perkhidmatan kami untuk Back for Good ini sehingga pukul 10 malam dan pejabat juga dibuka di seluruh Malaysia pada hari Sabtu dan Ahad.
He also said the government has decided that the B4G program will not be extended, with December 31st as its last day. Following that, the Immigration Department will conduct a massive detention operation. The B4G program implemented in Peninsular Malaysia is aimed at giving illegal immigrants who have committed offences under the Immigration Act the chance to return to their countries of origin according to stipulated requirements. The Academy of Family Physicians of Malaysia, AFPM, is calling for any foreigners who have not been immunized to be barred from entering the country. The medical body is also urging for tighter border patrols to better protect unvaccinated Malaysians. The Academy is also asking all parents and guardians to get children vaccinated. It added that the National Immunization Program, NIP, should be made mandatory in the country, as children should be protected from parents or guardians who are negligent, ignorant, or refuse to cooperate. The AFPM assured that there is no foreseeable risk in making vaccinations mandatory, as children's health will only improve, ensuring that the future generation is healthy. It also explained that polio vaccine used in the NIP does not cause vaccine-associated polio, a weakened strain of the virus that spreads more easily to people who are unvaccinated. It is the oral polio dose, which is gradually being replaced by oral polio vaccine, that causes it. The medical body says the polio vaccine provided under the NIP provides immunity against all 3 types of polio viruses and ensured that immunizing all children is the best prevention. Meanwhile, Malaysia will work with the Philippines and UNICEF to look for ways to ensure that Filipino migrants, particularly the undocumented ones, are vaccinated. Health Director General Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said the move was in line with the government's policy to ensure that both Malaysians and migrants were immunized.
Sebelum kita nak wajibkan, beberapa tindakan yang kita perlu lakukan ialah satu ialah kos vaksin tersebut. Yang kedua, dasar kita sekarang ni kita nak beri vaksin bukan hanya tempatan tapi pada mereka yang pendatang pun kita akan bagi vaksin tersebut.
Speaking to reporters at the launch of the Be a Heart Hero conference, Dato' Nur Hisham said the Health Ministry will work with UNICEF to ease the process of purchasing subsidized vaccines for the migrants. On the condition of the 3-month-old boy in Tuaran, Sabah, who was infected with polio recently, he said the boy was in a stable condition. The boy has yet to receive a full vaccination as required in the National Immunization Program. To date, the Health Ministry has given polio vaccines to 23 children in Sabah between the ages of 2 months and 15 years old. The Prime Minister on Friday was conferred an honorary doctorate by Qatar University. The award was conferred in recognition of Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad's outstanding contributions in the academic and political spheres that led Malaysia to prosperity. Tun Dr. Mahathir, who is on a 4-day official visit to Qatar, received the honorary doctorate of philosophy from President of Qatar University, Dr. Hassan Al-Dirham, in a ceremony held at the university's Ibn Khaldun Hall. Present at the event were the Premier's wife, Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah Muhammad Ali, Foreign Minister Dato' Saifuddin Abdullah, Economic Affairs Minister Dato' Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali, and Defence Minister Muhammad Sabu. In his acceptance speech, Tun Dr. Mahathir thanked Qatar University for conferring him the honour and said it was a great privilege not only for him but for his wife, the Pakatan Harapan government, and the people of Malaysia. The Prime Minister also said that he looks forward to more cooperation and collaboration between Qatar University and universities in Malaysia.
Malaysia values its friendship with all countries, large and small, irrespective of their systems of government. In return, we only expect mutual respect and regards. We believe in working together towards a conducive environment for global peace, stability, and shared prosperity.
The Prime Minister added that Malaysia and Qatar will continue to maintain cordial relations and work towards enhancing their partnership. "2020 will be an important year for the Pakatan Harapan government to implement the remaining 40% of the unfulfilled promises in its manifesto. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng said the PH government is committed to fulfill all its manifesto pledges before its mandate ends in 2023.
Perdana Menteri telah menyebutkan bahawa 60% daripada janji-janji manifesto Pakatan Harapan telah pun ditunaikan, tinggal 40%. Dan itulah sebabnya saya sebut bahawa kita kena mula tahun depan supaya dia akhirnya akan dapat disempurnakan sebelum 2023. So 2020 adalah penting sebagai permulaan untuk laksanakan semua janji-janji yang kita buat.
He said among the manifesto promises PH has met include the repeal of the goods and services tax, reducing the price of petrol from 2 ringgit 20 sen to 2 ringgit 8 sen, and introducing the monthly pass for light rail transit commuters in the Klang Valley. The PH administration, as a clean government, has also gotten MPs to declare their assets to the people for the first time in the country's history. Lim also hopes the lesson of PH's clean government would be appreciated and supported by the people. Now we'll be taking a short break, but coming up, a man in Johor gains praises from the public for this act of kindness. The details and more when we return. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Now let's hop on to Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. Now, motorists in Malaysia have long suffered from badly maintained, pothole-riddled roads. And although the Works Ministry are en route to upgrading and maintaining our roads nationwide, Samaritans have begun taking matters into their own hands for a quick fix. In a video that went viral on Facebook with at least 14,000 views since Thursday, this man in Johor is one of them. Here's the story. As bad road conditions and potholes are still a bane, this man was caught on camera trying to close it up, using what appears like a hammer to break bricks kept on the side of the road. The man casually fills it up while other vehicles drove by. The incident reportedly took place in Taman Perling, Johor Bahru. In the video's caption, the poster commended the man for his efforts, but at the same time questioned local authorities for their inaction, where it wrote, quote, "This pothole has become like a fish pond, and yet it has just been left like that." Netizens too rained comments calling out local authorities and expressing their disappointment. And of course, netizens also showered praises on the man for his selfless and kind act for the masses, wishing him all the success and health in the world. Of course, there are honest civil servants out there, but this one surely takes the cake. Now, updated as of 7 p.m., here are the top 20 topics and searches on the internet today. Demonstrators took to the streets of central London on Friday, protesting against the results of the British general election, which saw Prime Minister Boris Johnson's Conservative Party win a landslide victory. The protesters descended on an area close to Downing Street, which was cordoned off as the scuffles broke out. The Met Police said 2 arrests had been made in relation to the protest, one person on suspicion of assaulting a police officer and another for suspected affray. The footage you're seeing here shows protesters pushing against police, chanting "Boris Johnson, not my Prime Minister," with some even chanting for the British leader to quit.
The person who's just been elected is an outright racist. He's used racism, he's used Islamophobia. The level of racist attacks, especially Islamophobic attacks, shot up when he made his insulting remarks about women in niqab looking like letterboxes, and he's never had to apologise.
I don't feel like he as a Prime Minister cares about our rights. I don't feel like he cares about our country. I feel like he only cares for a very specific few people.
Johnson's Conservatives won an 80-seat majority in a historic election on Thursday, which saw Labour suffer its worst election since 1935. North Korea has conducted another crucial test at its Sohae satellite launch site on Friday as nuclear negotiations between Pyongyang and Washington remain stalled with the deadline approaching. Now, the announcement comes a day after the U.S. tested a medium-range ballistic missile over the Pacific Ocean on Thursday. Now, state media outlet KCNA reported that a spokesman for North Korea's Academy of Defense Science said the test was conducted at the Sohae satellite launch site without specifying what sort of testing occurred. It was the second such test at the facility in a week. KCNA last Sunday said that North Korea had carried out a very important test on December 7th at the same site, a rocket testing facility that U.S. officials once said North Korea had promised to close. South Korea's defense ministry, however, is saying it was an engine test. The reported tests come ahead of a year-end deadline North Korea has put forth for the U.S. to drop its insistence on unilateral denuclearization. Up next, we speak to a game designer from Marvel on growing the massive esports industry in Malaysia. Don't go away. Thank you for staying with us. The U.S. House of Representatives Committee approved charges of abuse of power and obstruction against President Donald Trump on Friday, making it almost certain he will become the third U.S. president in history to be impeached. The U.S. House, where the Democrats hold a majority, is likely to approve the charges next week, completing the impeachment process and sending Trump for trial in the Senate within weeks.
A deeply divided House Judiciary Committee voted 23-17 along party lines to approve an article of impeachment charging Trump with abusing the power of his office to pressure Ukraine to investigate a possible rival in the 2020 presidential election, Democrat Joe Biden. A second article by the same margin accusing Trump of obstructing Congress's investigation of the Ukraine scandal by ordering administration officials not to cooperate with the impeachment inquiry was also backed by the panel. But the Republican-led chamber is unlikely to vote to find the president guilty and remove him from office.
They had no proof, no evidence, no crime, but they went ahead anyway. And they're tearing the country apart, and they should be ashamed.
Democrats, meanwhile, have accused the president of endangering the U.S. Constitution, jeopardizing national security, and undermining the integrity of the 2020 election by pressuring Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in a July phone call to investigate Biden. The abuse of power charge also accuses Trump of freezing nearly $400 million in U.S. security aid to Ukraine and offering a possible White House meeting to Zelensky to get him to publicly announce the investigations of Biden and his son Hunter. Trump and Republicans say the president did nothing improper in his call with Zelensky and that there is no direct evidence he withheld aid or a White House meeting in exchange for a favor.
It's a witch hunt, it's a sham, it's a hoax. Nothing was done wrong, zero was done wrong.
A senior Democratic aide said the House tentatively plans to hold an impeachment debate next Wednesday.
Art enthusiasts looking for something to do this weekend may be interested in the Pop Orient Shades of Asia exhibition. The collection, showcasing brightly colored and whimsically themed Asian portrait paintings, is currently on display at a unique pop art gallery in Petaling Jaya. Take a look. The Shades of Asia artworks being exhibited at Gallery des Artistes in Tropicana were commissioned in London by Edith Ho and her newly formed design house named Gung Ho. According to Edith, the portrait paintings are part of the pop-oriented collection, which redefines a new cool vibe in Asian art. The vivid and somewhat outrageous collection also comes in different formats and sizes.
Based on pop art, but on Asian themes. So this is the inaugural collection. So this is based on a Chinese theme. Later on, with my creative team, we are thinking of maybe doing Japanese culture or Malay or, Thai. So Shades of Asia, it's a reflection on, the importance of China right now. And practically all the artwork is with glasses, therefore shades.
The classy modern exhibition showcases 25 artworks from acrylic on canvas to sublimation art glass.
We have art on glass, which we are very excited about to show something different, We also have lifestyle items. We have some furniture, we have tables, we have a beautiful chair that we bought at an antique shop.
The exhibition, which is by appointment only, opens from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and ends tomorrow. Now for our My Game On segment with the latest esports and gaming news. Over $500 million worth of revenue has been generated in the Malaysian games development industry since 2017. Local game developers, producers and publishers involved in the industry offer valuable skills and knowledge that will help improve the games development market. Now, Wanizul Islam met with Malaysian game developer Danny Khoo, who works with Marvel Games, to find out more about the industry.
The Malaysian game development scene continues to improve, especially with the government supporting the initiative with new policies and funding outlined in Budget 2020. An allocation of 20 million ringgit was tabled for the development of esports, and with the recent launch of the esports strategic development plan, the industry has been put in the spotlight. Malaysian-born game producer Danny Khoo, well known for producing popular Marvel games, believes the industry will continue to flourish in the future.
Game industry is definitely growing, not only here, also globally. Compared to 20 years ago, there is no such thing as, even education-wise, there's no game development programming classes, So I'm actually glad that, Malaysia's started to offer this education to up-and-coming aspiring game developers to hone them, make new game studios, provide them the experience needed to compete in world stages.
Speaking from industry experience after producing games such as Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Super War and Future Fight, Danny hopes the local industry will come together to learn from one another. In a grueling competitive global market worth billions of US dollars, he's advising local game developers to band together like the Avengers to take things to the next level.
If anyone tell you making games is easy, it's not. As making games is an art form, it's hard. Production schedule can shift, based on changes, or sometimes there are other various factors that are accounted for it. As a producer, I would advise to constantly communicate with all your team members and watch out for the gotchas. Right? It's like, try to learn from past mistakes, especially from other industry veterans, that they share stories, like read up as much as possible, like what not to do, or something you could have done better. If you keep learning from that, I think you will get the necessary experience to lead a team.
The future of game development in Malaysia plays a crucial role in developing the esports scene, along with the country's ultimate goal of becoming the region's esports hub. However, the up-and-coming industry is still fairly new and still needs to tackle many issues before being able to compete with more experienced countries such as China, Japan and the US.
I think there's only upwards from here, with all the support and all the story sharing, with all the experience gathering in one place. The game industry is a big business, but the circle is very small. Actually, if you know one person, you know everyone in the industry, and that's how we help each other. Motivate each other to continue pushing the game industry forward.
One is Islam, 7 Edition.